just did a review on a post-fight uh, regarding the Jaron Ennis versus Royman Villa fight. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about Boots on my impressions, what I think about him so far, and what I see from his future in boxing, the immediate future, because I don't really know where he goes, where he is, where he's going to be later on in his career. But my immediate prediction for his future, where I think he's going to end up, and what do I think of his overall his performance as a fighter. I think the dude is the goods, man. I think he is a beast in his own right. And as far as the welterweight division, there is nobody there that beats Jaron Ennis. Arguably, we could argue, we're gonna always argue these what ifs unless these people actually fight, especially him and Terrence Crawford, him and Errol Spence. Those are the only two opponents that have the caliber to beat and possibly stop Jaron Ennis if they was to ever fight. It's those two. That's it, and no one else. No one else coming up at the welterweight division. Nobody that's currently there at the welterweight division beats Boots. He beats all of them. When Bud or Errol moves up, and whoever wins that fight, and they vacate, because if they have a rematch clause and it's activated, likely the fight will be at 154. I think both of them are pretty much done with their careers, unless Terrence Crawford hangs around for, if he wins and beats Errol Spence and he decides to hang around the division for another fight. I think they say Bud has a 3-fight deal as well over there at the PBC, so things are gonna get interesting. But he says he wants to fight Jermell Charlo, so look, if it's gonna be a 3-fight deal for Bud, are we looking at a Spence, Boots, and Charlo? Are we looking at 2 Spence fights in Charlo and he's done with PBC? I don't know. But one thing I do believe is the more likely outcome possibility is Jaron Ennis is going to end up meeting them two at 154. If he does even fight either one of them, it's not going to be a welterweight. It'll be at a higher weight class. But the kid got the goods, man. He has this the flair, the flashiness, the speed. He has the punching power, the footwork. There's just a few things that he does still need, I think, to work on. People say he get hit, bro. There's fighters that don't move at all that get hit. That's what getting hit is, when you have a certain style that allows you to get hit. He doesn't have the style that's going to allow himself to get hit unless he wants to get hit. Jaron Ennis only gets hit if he wants to, it looks like, or if he just don't see certain things coming. You're going to get hit. This is boxing. You're not going to be able to evade every punch. That's just not going to happen. It's just that's not realistic, man. You know what I'm saying? So all you people that you find that in a fighter that you really don't like, and then you can't say Boots get hit too much, but then say Errol has the best defense, or you can't say Boots get hit too much, but Bud has the best defense, or you can't say that Errol gets hit too much and Boots don't. You know, it's just weird, man. It's just weird with the boxing fans, man. But he does need to work on this thing he does where he overthrows his shot. I don't feel comfortable with that, because sometimes he leaves himself wide open. I know a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. I've seen it a lot in the Villa fight. I've seen it in a few other fights as well, but he was doing it a lot in the Villa fight, and I was a little nervous. I was getting a little concerned. I'm like, damn, bro, like, if this Villa kid comes up with something while you still not, he's still in the motions of his punch, or he just still has his arms extended while at the end of his punch, and he comes up the right way, he can hit you with something big, man. And he proven to have a chin so far. But you don't want to take too many of those through your career and start to wear down your punch resistance. But that's one issue. The flashiness, I mean, that's his style. That that's entertaining. That's sales, and I don't think he just does that for entertainment. I think he does it because the kid just loved boxing, man. When he was in there fighting Villa, you see his face, bro. It was almost like he was in there playing with him for the whole fight. It was almost like he was in there sparring him, bro. It was amazing because it was like this dude was frustrated, bro. Boots was frustrating him. He had nothing for him, bro. He has nothing for him. He had nothing for him. You know, I could see the Spence fight in between Bud going a little like that one, man. I could see something like that happening, but with Spence being much more skilled than Villa, it'll be much more of a tactical fight. You know, but I see him being probably I don't know what the path to undisputed will look like for Boots at welterweight. If Spence or Bud vacates, those belts are going to be Jaron Ennis' belts without a doubt. That would leave Keith Thurman and Yordenis Ugas is probably going to be the top guys with Boots, Stanionis. I don't know. Virgil Ortiz is probably done. I'm not even going to talk about him. And you really don't got no other guys there, really. Butayev, you know. So who else is there? Who else is there? He beats Ugas. Keith Thurman might give him a good fight until he stops him to the body. Keith Thurman poses is probably going to be the biggest test for Jaron Ennis to date because Keith Thurman can punch and he moves. So similar to Boots, he can punch and move. You know, so that's going to be that's a good challenge because, you know, Boots had the issues with a dude that was moving around a lot. And Thurman's going to be moving in that fight. But the thing is with Thurman, he's not going to be in there trying to survive unless Boots hurt him, and then he's going to be trying to survive. But he's going in there to fight you, to beat you. You know, so with that being said, there's a strong possibility Keith Thurman can also regain some of those belts. And we can see I think they're not going to let him fight Keith Thurman yet. They'll probably push, like, let Thurman get some more light touches in. Let Ugas get destroyed by Boots. And then Keith Thurman's going to be somewhere grabbing up some belts. Somebody's going to fight for a vacant belt. Boots going to fight for a vacant belt. You might see a thing where you got Keith Thurman grabbed up 2 of the straps. Boots got 2 of the straps. And them two fight for undisputed within like a year. I can see something like that happening. Then Boots moves up. And then Boots fights Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. I can see both of them dudes fighting Boots, and that's what Boots would need. That would like his resume would skyrocket from there. If he fights a Keith Thurman, and then maybe somebody like a Stanionis gets them out of there, goes up to 154 after he beats Keith Thurman for some titles, and also Stanionis too. I could see him being a champion. And Boots lining up a fight, taking his belt, and then moving into a Thurman fight, which is going to be a bigger money fight for Ennis. And then when he gets up at 154, that's when it's going to get real lit up there. It's going to be lit all through 154. Because Jermell Charlo, I don't know what's going on with him. If he loses to Canelo, is he going to come back down, or is he staying at 168? I don't know how that's going to work. I'm assuming he's not going to be staying up there. He's probably going to come down and move to 160. I think that's what's going to probably happen with Jermell Charlo, and then leave Boots and everybody else to fight, you know, for those belts. The question about that is, you know, how does that work? Because Terrence Crawford says he wants to fight Jermell Charlo. So I don't know if if Charlo's going to wait around for that fight before going up to 160, or he just going to hightail it out and avoid that fight and stay at 160, and then Jamal moves up and weight to 168. You remember, Jamal, I don't know what's going on with him, man. I don't know if he's going to be fighting anytime soon. He's supposed to fight Canelo. That's not going to happen. So Jamal pretty much inactive again. And if that's the case, or is he retired? We don't know. Then Jamel moves up to 160 and fill his place. And now you got Boots and Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford and all the current dudes, Erickson Lubin, and we got all these other guys mixing it up at 154. It should get rather interesting. But as far as Jaron Ennis goes, he will be the champion. He's gonna probably end up being. I could see him being undisputed at 147 within like a year. If they play everything the way I think they're gonna play it, expect to see a Jaron Ennis versus Keith Thurman for undisputed. Before that happens, though, expect to see probably Jaron Ennis versus Stanionis to take his belt. I don't think Rashidi Ellis is a threat to any of these dudes either, any of these top guys. So the main players at the division going to be Stanionis, Jaron Ennis, Keith Thurman, and that's it. Ugas is finished. I don't see him. Spence took a lot out of him, so he don't have much left in boxing as far as I'm concerned. He's going the ways of a Kell Brook, Udinese guys, pretty much. So expect to see Boots with them belts within sometime next year. Going into 2025, you should see Boots as either undisputed or a unified champ. And you should see him fighting at 154 later on in probably 2024 or 2025. Just my prediction. But anyway, let me know what you think. This is Rebel Like Boxing. I'll catch y'all later.